Welcome back, everybody, to Two Cool Guys Talk About Movies. That's right, Mason, it's a rebrand, and we're doing it in the middle of this Hunger Games franchise.
I love that.
When would be a better time to do this than on the second Hunger Games movies?
I love that. Good rebrand. With
Accurate,
hot stuff.
Yep.
There's nothing cooler than two cool adult men in their middle age talking about the movie adaptation of a young adult novel.
The second movie adaptation.
Second one.
Yeah, that's right. Please leave a like because we are
Please leave a like. We're rebranding as Cool Dudes.
We need this to work. We're going to be talking about the Hunger Games, Catching Feelings and Fire.
Nice, I love that.
Wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Do you think that's the metaphor?
Yeah. And it's like the fires for like revolution.
Oh.
That might be an accident. I don't know if that's on purpose.
You think so?
A lot of the political themes here aren't, I don't know, I feel like they're not done on purpose.
Yeah, I think so. It's probably all an accident. Yeah. I mean, to spoil it, there's no really definitive link between, this oppressive government, crushing these young people down and them, fighting back against that. I think it's just a coincidence. I think Katniss slips at one point.
Yes.
Accidentally shoots somebody in the heart.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun. Oh, she shoots Alan Richardson at one point.
That's right.
We'll talk about him. Anyways, Katniss has PTSD from doing a big Hunger Games.
Ooh, I'm Katniss. I'm traumatized by all the killing I had to do in the Hunger Games.
Ooh, it's Jack Quaid. I killed him in the last one. Here he is.
Ooh, I made a little friend. She was a little girl, and then she got an axe to the head or whatever. Ooh, I saw it. Ooh, I'm sad. Get over it. You're rich now or whatever. You got all the grain you could ever want. You stuffed your pockets with grain.
Oh my God, you could give it to all the people and all the birds.
That's right.
The mockingjays, potentially.
Or just some dirty pigeons.
Yeah, whatever. That's easy. Now, you can see in this, obviously, that the budget has increased. I mean, you don't need to look any further than the hologram cubed people that you'd practice hitting.
Absolutely.
That's all good stuff.
Yeah, you don't have to look any further than Elizabeth Banks' face where she's requested just a less freakish makeup routine for this entire thing. Less unpleasant, please. More normal.
Yeah, it is
Well, because the freakish colour palettes are cheaper. So.
Yeah, you're probably right. Now, Gary Ross, who directed the first film, he was offered to return as director, but he declined. He said this was a hard decision, but he preferred to both write and direct the sequel, and it was impossible to do so because the turnaround on this was like 1 year.
Yeah, right.
So Francis Lawrence took over this one and the subsequent ones we will be talking about.
I see.
Yeah. Now, of course...
Also, mate, you didn't write the last one. Whoever wrote the book wrote it.
Suzanne...
Summers.
Boyle.
Suzanne Boyle.
We should find that out.
We did. It's Susan Boyle. Winner of...
Suzanne Collins.
There you go.
Yeah. Winner of what? Winner of Irish Ugly People Sing or whatever.
That's right.
Also, she looks like a normal woman.
Yeah.
Remember there was like 10 years where they were like, look how ugly this woman is. But she can sing.
That's right.
But don't forget how ugly she is.
Well, I think all of you are ugly in your hearts. And also, I've got a different standard of beauty, and I think you're physically ugly also. And you've had too much surgery. And shut up.
Now, speaking of things that aren't ugly, Mason, it's the love triangle in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's fully blossomed, right? So President Snow, he decides...
He's not in the love triangle.
No, I know, but he decides to put...
Oh, this is preamble.
Yeah, that's right. It's preamble. He decides to put Peter and Katniss on a rebellion tour for some reason.
Yeah.
Presumably he was tricked into this.
It's
a fucking terrible idea.
It's their we're sorry for party rocking tour is what it is, because they did too much party rocking and everybody's like, maybe we'll do some party rocking as well. And then the government's like, don't do any party rocking. So then they have to go around and be like, we didn't actually mean to party rock. We actually just meant, we didn't do it for rebellion styles. Mm-hmm. We didn't do it Corey Worthington style.
Oh my God.
Australian party boy Corey Worthington.
I've got a really good Australian reference later on as well. Don't you even worry.
Great. But we're going to tour around to say actually party rocking is bad. So
and staying in and being nice to
the
government.
Getting married for the government and having a baby for the government are actually good, actually.
That's right, actually, yeah. Now, we talked about love triangles when we covered the Twilight movies. Are you team Peter or are you team Chris Hemsworth's brother?
I think I'm team Peter.
Okay.
Just because we don't really know anything about Gale.
Yeah.
We know he has incredible hair for a beautiful man living in squalor. Like just even when he's just been whipped until an inch of his life, he's still just that perfect. Oh my God, he's probably got 2 or 3 products in there, you know what I mean?
I would say he would. He'd probably have maybe a sea spray kind of that you put in with wet hair, then a mousse for volume, and then maybe some kind of paste to give it some texture.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then he warms it over a fire to have it set in. He warms it over a burning bin. Just to really set it in place. But yeah, I mean, all we really see him as is kind of the jealous boyfriend for most of this movie. It's kind of like, what do you keep going away and doing the Hunger Games? I don't know, maybe because our entire society's built around it, Gail.
Yeah.
But then, and Peter, it's like, on the one hand, he's kind of like, well, Katniss, I love you. But I don't really love you. I'm just acting. But I'm not acting. I do love you. But then we see them bond in real time.
In real time.
In real time. And then, through the Hunger Games and so forth. And they've got to deal with all this business together.
They certainly do.
Apologize for party rocking and so forth.
Which they should have.
Yeah. So I'm kind of on his side. But then again, it's Chris Hemsworth's brother, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
See, here's what I think it is. Peter is nice and he's brave and he has excellent cake decorating skills. I would even say life-saving cake decorating skills,
Doesn't
right?
really employ him in this one, though, does he?
No, he paints a mural of a dead girl, which is his...
In cake?
Yeah.
Oh, Peter, you've done so well. This is so beautiful. Wait a second.
Yeah. Is it a beautiful homage to a dead girl or is it cake? That would probably be a TV show in this universe, I assume.
Absolutely.
So we got all of that on the Peter side.
Yeah.
But then Chris Hemsworth's brother, he's taller. And if I know anything from watching just exclusively Manosphere content,
absolutely,
that means he will win out in the end.
That's right.
And that's like real life.
Yeah. I imagine
that's all women are interested in.
If we're going to,
they only want tall. This is what people tell me on the internet.
If we're going to draw a series of green lines, Chris Hemsworth's brother is going to be a straight up line, and Peter's going to be leaning in. You're leaning in and broken to signify submission. You know what I mean? And that's just embarrassing.
Exactly.
We're rebranding again. We're Manosphere guys. Before we were cool guys who love movies. Now we're Manosphere guys.
Now, Philip Seymour Hoffman shows up in this, the late great.
I've written Philip Seymour Hoffman on all in caps here because I'm like, wrong. Yeah, damn.
As Plutarch Heavensklurt. That's right. Don't give him that name. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Impossible. But he's obviously terrific. He has great scenes with Donald Sutherland. I love all of that. He gets a lot of play in this, but then more so in the next movie, and then not as much the last one because, of course, he died while making these movies. I also think the inclusion of Commander Thread as the head of the Stormtroopers, that's a good villain. Just an unashamedly... unashamedly... How do you say that?
Unashamedly?
Thank you. Just an unashamedly terrible... Just a flat-out terrible bloke.
Absolutely. Who doesn't come back, I don't think.
Oh, doesn't he?
I don't think so.
Oh.
Yeah. I'd remember him getting his.
Yeah. I feel like there'll probably be a riot and he'll get his in a riot or something.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
I don't know.
Nice, okay.
We'll see. Anyways.
Maybe somebody will just finally tell him he's wrong. Yeah. Or stand up to him in a shopping centre or something.
You're actually being really inappropriate right now and you're cancelled. Anyway, forget all of that because we've got to get back to the Hunger Games, Mason. This is the 75th version, and this time around, they're bringing in previous tributes, right? And what I think is interesting about this group is some of them have clearly kept it up. They're match fit, and some of them clearly went the route of Warwick Kappa.
Oh, that's your local reference.
That's my local reference. Australian VFL legend. He's still out and about.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
He's still somewhat active.
Okay.
But maybe just leave him alone. Don't look at him.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, certainly Sam Claflin has gone with the Warwick Kappa frosted tips,
But nothing else about him is Warwick Kappa, I feel.
They've both got a pucker shell necklace vibe. I don't know if either of them is currently wearing
That
one.
is true.
But no, you're absolutely right. And what I love about this version of the Hunger Games, or of course they're like you said, they're drawing straws to get previous winners in to increase the thrill level. It's a real Australian Idol All-Stars edition or whatever.
Yeah.
What I like about it is that this Hunger Games is going to give Katniss the opportunity to kill intellectuals and the elderly.
Finally.
Yeah, I mean, last time was just kids,
Oh, God. I do love the idea of this is a brand new Hunger Games like you've never seen before. There's some old people here.
This will be slow.
You can kill them. You can watch them die. You can just leave them. One of them will just walk into a fog.
Maybe if they don't do as much killing early on, we'll set a poisonous fog on them. They'll burn all their skin off. They'll all die. We'll just kill them in a poison fog. You'd like to see that, wouldn't you? That's thrilling.
Okay.
Maybe while they're asleep.
I think a problem with this movie is that they really step up the in-arena shenanigans.
Okay,
and I think it's to the detriment of what the Hunger Games is really about, and that is just flat-out murder. And I think they step it up because they know that the alliances are going to be tighter.
Yeah, right,
I think they know that, but like force fields and lightning trees and monkeys and poison fog and water coming out of trees and talking birds who have mimicked...
Do you think the water coming out of trees, do you think that was part
It's
of
too far. Just put a tap in. It's fine. It's too complicated.
Okay.
I don't have time for any of that.
Get maybe just one of those big plastic drums of orange cordial that McDonald's rents out to sports games. That's a local reference.
That's a local reference. Yeah, the thing is, right, because in the last one, like, there is an element of you need to learn how to survive. But in this one, they're just in a giant clock of death that never stops. So I think you should pull back on the can you start a fire shit, you know?
Right,
There's no time for that.
I think what they should probably do is just cancel the Hunger Games entirely.
Too.
And just replace it with a show that's just like, well, look at all the cool stuff we made. We made a nanotech panther or whatever. We made these monkeys do whatever we want. Look at that.
Poison fog.
Force field. Try and get through that. We got a bloke hit it with a hammer. You can't get through it. You can't even see it.
Are you saying that to risk putting in another local reference, they do their version of Australia's own Beyond 2000?
Absolutely. I think they should do Beyond 2000.
Great.
That's a car that can turn into a boat.
It was always a car that could turn into a boat, by the way. If anybody's seen that show, it was exclusively about that. And maybe spray on t-shirts or something.
Yeah.
Anyways, I feel like all that stuff, though, it distracts from everyone killing each other. And that's the stuff that I like. I don't need a monkey fight, right?
Right.
There's too many mates, right?
Too many alliances is what you're saying.
Too many alliances.
Okay, because you figured they would all team up.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, it's rich of them to assume that when they're doing the interviews with the former winners of the Hunger Games,
they're going to be cool with it.
That they'll all toe the line a bit, because they were all told that, you do that.
You're great and you'll live forever.
You're great and you live forever. And then all of a sudden, they get Stanley Tucci with his blindingly white teeth out there and be like, what do you think about this new Hunger Games? And they're like, I hate it. Why am I here? I hate you. This sucks. Let's do a rebellion. And he's like, I don't know about that. Pretty feisty. Anyway, next contestant.
He's one of those guys that when he's hard up for a word, he just laughs, right? He's Grant Denyer. I don't know anything about Grant Denyer. I don't know if he does that. Good on him, God bless him.
Speaking of, like you mentioned, I love the psychos are better in this.
I do like the colourful cast of characters. You've got a Trident guy. There's a naked woman. Jack Reacher is there. Batman's friend, Commissioner Gordon, makes an appearance.
Right. Amanda Plummer is there.
That's right.
Honey Bunny from Pulp Fiction is in there. That's a freak for sure. Yeah, I'm loving, just Jenna Malone as this naked weirdo freak.
Yeah.
She's great. Doing great work there. Way more memorable, this group.
Definitely. I love how Jeffrey Wright's go-to strategy for killing people is just always electrocution. He's like, this is my thing and I will not be deviating. I've got a great plan. It's electrocution. I'm doing electrocution again. You'd think you'd branch out. You know what I mean? I mean, I know he did it the first time. I think he's just trying to relive the glory. Yeah.
This time around, I'm going to trick somebody into thinking a great weapon is to blow up a balloon and then rub your hair on it a bunch of times. And then bam, they're dead eventually.
Now, the big twist at the end of this, everybody in the world is seemingly in on this except for Katniss Everdeen.
That's right.
It's actually, this Hunger Games was orchestrated by one Philip Seymour Hoffman, Plutarch Sausage Blurg.
Yes.
That it's actually a revolution. It's the beginning of a revolution.
Whoa.
Yeah. And the idea was to do the Hunger Games, but then get Katniss out and use her as a poster, essentially, which we'll talk about more in the follow-up movies. But I think my problem with this is that, well, a couple of things. For one, and you mentioned this last week, Katniss is not making any hard decisions again. She's never in a situation where she has to kill anybody that she likes or choose between two kind of things happening. She's like, do I save Peter or do I save Chris Hemsworth's brother? Maybe that comes up. I can't remember. But you know what I mean? There's that. And I also feel like this one definitely feels like...
I loved you in the French Dispatch, Jeffrey Wright. Bang. Bang, bang. I'm so sorry. Bang.
I loved you in the Shaft reboot with Samuel L. Jackson, but not the more recent one. The one in the early 2000s, Christian Bale's in it. Bang.
She's found that gun again.
Lenny Kravitz would have told her again before he was savagely beaten to death.
Oh, I'm Katniss, my fashion designer bestie got bashed up and dragged away to his doom. Boo-hoo.
Yeah.
Boo. Get over it, God.
God, get over it. But I feel like this one feels like more of a cog in an ongoing saga.
Okay.
But I think the execution of that
But that's what the people want.
No, I know that, but I think the ongoing saga of it isn't as compelling as the original core idea, which is great as like a standalone piece.
Right, okay, sure.
You know?
But don't you think the kids would get bored if it was just a battle royale?
Well, they
every
got
time?
bored because they drop off in, in quality and box office, which we'll talk about. Now, I know last week we talked about like, how would you survive the Hunger Games? And we came to the conclusion that I would run off a cliff accidentally and you would just be the best and you would win.
Sure.
Yeah. Now, that is true. I don't want to go with that again. Also, because the start is water-based, I'm no good here. Like I can swim because everyone in Australia, you have to swim. It's just something that they make you do. But I'm not that good.
They fill up the classroom with water and they let a shark in. And you just got to deal with that.
That's right. So look, I wouldn't survive at all. But what would you do for your 10 minutes to show the aristocracy what you can do?
Well,
Would you paint a dead girl? Would you hang a mannequin that looks like Wes Bentley?
Oh, maybe I'd put a fancy outfit on and everybody would be like, that's a pretty normal fancy outfit. And then I'd push a button and it'd be all on fire. Yawn. Boring. Just keep doing that, Katniss.
Yeah.
Yawn.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Also, I don't think like Lenny Kravitz changing her wedding dress into like a bird. It's fine.
Sure.
People are talking about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Kill Peter for lying about the baby thing.
Yeah. But to answer your question, I do yo-yo tricks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Would you do walk the dog?
Yes.
Would you do round the world?
Yes.
It's not that impressive though, so you're gonna have to follow it up with something else.
2 yo-yos.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I don't get the point of that. I know you're showing them.
And then they're fiery phoenixes.
I mean, yeah, that's good. But like you're showing these people what you can do because you get a ranking. But like, it's not that important. I think it'd be more important to just not let anybody know that you can do anything. I think that would be the play, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And in my case, that would be true.
Yeah.
They'd bring me in, they'd be like, you got 10 minutes. And I'd be like, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to sing? I can't. I will, but I can't. Oh, good.
What would I do?
Yo-yos.
I guess I would, yes. Go with your best first perfect idea, you know?
Exactly. Also, you should go in and go, anyone got any yo-yos? And then if they don't, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, I can do 10 minutes of crowd work.
Yeah.
Where are you from? Oh, Pan Am, the capital. What do you do? Oh, you're part of the fascist society, impressing the disenfranchised. Ha ha! Good on you, buddy. Good on you, mate.
Absolutely. Yeah. Anyway, it's time for the Hung Trivia, Catching Trivia. This is the trivia section of the show.
I love that.
Here we go. Just got a few this week. So all 3 of Ed Sheeran's songs submitted for the film's soundtrack were turned down.
Ouch.
That must sting. They might have been good ones, or they weren't. I didn't look into it.
That must sting. He probably looks at his multi-billion-dollar bank balance every day and he's like, oh, I wish
I was in Hunger Games too. Yeah. At least I got to be in Game of Thrones and everyone screamed at me. Remember that?
Yeah.
Just let him be in Game of Thrones. He's rich. Let him do what he wants.
Let him do what he wants. Seems like a nice man with bad tattoos.
Yeah. Now, do you want to know how Haymitch won his Hunger Games? This is in the book.
Did he cry until they just let him have it?
Yeah, basically. So Hamish Abernathy, that's his name, he won the 50th Hunger Games, which was the second quarter quell. And as a result...
Wait, so they just let him in the quarter quell?
Yeah, well, I guess.
It was just straight up in the quarter quell.
Well, the quarter quell isn't normally get everybody who's previously done it.
Oh.
This was a ploy.
This was a ploy. I thought it might have been a ploy.
Or an accident to kill Katniss or whatever.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But as a result of it being the quarter quell, there was twice as many tributes. So he lured the last remaining tribute to a force field in his arena, and she was killed when she threw an axe at him, which bounced off the force field and flew back to her.
Whoa.
She didn't catch it. Hit her in the face. And she died.
Wow.
And he went, great. I'm taking my shoes off and I'm getting drunk for the next 25 years. And one more bit of trivia, but it's just going to be a clip. Have you seen the interview with Woody Harrelson and Liam Hemsworth where something comes up about Chris Hemsworth and then Woody Harrelson puts it together that they're brothers?
No, I've not seen that.
Well, here it is.
Wow.
Now, the cost of this movie, on a budget, an increased budget, because of all those hologram cube boys, of $140 million.
You know, if I were Liam Hemsworth, I probably would have used that moment to put together the thing about how Woody Harrelson's dad's a hitman or whatever for the mafia. Oh, so your dad, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Is it Woody? Is it?
Oh, Matthew McConaughey's maybe your brother or something, which is the thing you've been saying recently. Is that true? Why don't you get a test then? Oh, you don't want to? Then it's not true, isn't it? So on a budget of $140 million, big increase, the box office return was $865 million, which is actually the peak of this franchise.
Oh, no, but there's 2 more movies to go.
2 more movies, Mason.
Downhill. Right. But I mean, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
Even a slight dip.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Now, We talked about this last week, but one thing that is not going to be dipping is the paycheck of one Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh, yes.
So instead of the $500,000 which she got for the first one, this time around she got $10 million.
Damn.
Worth every penny?
I think so.
Cool.
Yeah. She's good in this role.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money.
A lot of money.
I don't think anybody should get paid anything.
Yeah.
You know? Yes.
Which leads further credence to my theory that she is part horse.
Yeah, she's got that horse girl energy.
Yeah.
Or she's part horse. We don't know yet.
We don't know yet.
Anyways, come back next week for Hunger Games Part 1.
No.
Mocking the president. No. Just sticking it to him.
Yeah.
Part 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With 10 minutes of powerful insult comedy.
President Snow's so old that he was in the original MASH movie.
Ooh.
And that's true.
That is true.
It's a true fact.
Yeah.
Now, if you do want to see that early, you can actually head over to bigsandwich.co, where guess what, Mason?
What?
There's actually a bunch of bonus stuff there that goes there exclusively. There's movie commentaries. There's video game Let's Plays. There's bonus podcasts.
Whoa.
Our podcast, though, The Weekly Planet, where we talk movies and comics and TV shows every Monday, that actually comes out there Sunday as opposed to Monday. All of that is ad-free. But yeah, check out our podcast.
What are you checking out?
It's got its own YouTube channel. It's on Spotify, Apple, etc.
It's like this. It's longer. It has less energy.
Yeah,
Because we gotta spread it out, you know.
Yeah, it's the Hunger Games Part 3 and 4 of podcasts.
That's
just
right.
really spread out.
That's right.
Not enough information, too much space. You know?
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you to Ben and Lawrence for the edit.
Thank you, Ben and Lawrence.
And we'll see you all on the next one.
Grab that gem, you guys. We'll see you real soon.
Mm-hmm. Also, if you're worried that you're not that tall, don't get that weird leg lengthening surgery. Just be normal and talk to the opposite sex. You know how you're a person. Like
No.
they're not you, but I'm talking to the listeners.
Oh, I understand.
They're also a person.
People can get the leg lengthening surgery if they want.
No, it fucks you up, man.
What if one leg is slightly longer than the other?
Oh, that's different.
Oh, interesting.
That's different, obviously.
Okay, but what if you get it on one leg and then it turns out the other leg you didn't get it on is now slightly too short?
Well, then you'd have to even it up,
You
wouldn't
got to
you?
even it up,
Yeah,
right?
okay, fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah. There's a lot of good points here. I should have thought this through.
That's right.
Anyway, just be normal.